Businesses, what a disaster. They got 10 of the top business mentors into one room and they asked them a question. They said, what are the top 3 things you would advise that you all agree upon? And there were the whole world sitting in front of you to listen to what you're saying. They all agreed on 3 points. These are not Tom and Jerry's. These are guys who have spent their entire lifetime, 20, 30 years, doing study of businesses, what works, what doesn't work, how everything works in the business world, how the human mind works regarding business, all sorts of behaviors. And 10 of them have been brought together. Collectively, you're talking about 400 years of experience. Testing and tweaking, and millions of pounds spent in testing what works, what doesn't work. Then they went out to implement what they learned to work, and they created £1 million, even £1 billion businesses for themselves, and advised many other businesses to reach that standard too. Also written some of the top bestsellers in the world, books, bestsellers in the world. So what did they say? They said, number 1, the top of the list. This is for mentors who wish to become business mentors. They said, if you want to succeed in mentoring, then you need to forget about making money and start thinking about who you can help to get results that can change their life. Start thinking about getting results for people that changes their life and gets them what they want. So that's the first thing. Now what does they mean by who? Not everybody wants to succeed, or not everybody wants to put in the effort that is required to succeed. Because remember, only 5% of the people actually are going to make that effort. 95% will come up with a reason that's justifiable to them. They'll disqualify themselves by coming up with excuses that they call reasons, justifiable for themselves not wanting to do something. It's always been the same, it is the same, it will always be the same. It's only the 5% that you can help. The rest basically are just not going to do. They're just not going to do what needs to be done. So you choose and handpick and send you a message that's catered for the 5%, and they'll come to you. You check your feed into the ocean and the 5% will come to you. They are looking for you. They're looking for someone to help them to get out of the 95% group. So you really haven't got to do much. And guess what? Even if they don't find your seed, they'll find somebody else's seed, because they are naturally born to get into the 5%. They are not going to stop at anything to get to the 5%. They in fact embrace failure. So that's what you do. You start a business where you are going to help people to change their life and help them to get the results they want. So you as a mentor, to you it's not about making money. To you it's about how many people can you help and get them life-changing results. To you, that is your passion. That's what drives you. How do you add massive value to the lives of others? That's 1. Then that was put to the all 10. Do you all agree? And they all agreed. Number 2. They asked them, what is the biggest problem that the people who want to get involved and want to change their lives or think they want to get involved, what's the biggest problem they come across? And they spoke and they said, the biggest problem they all came across is that they think they know what they need to know to get to where they're trying to get to. when they actually don't. That's a very bad problem. Because if they didn't knew that they don't know, then they'll look for the answer. But because they think they do know, they're not going to look for the answer. And that's how they spend their entire life. You try talking to them, they'll find a way or a reason how to disqualify themselves again. I already know. I've been doing this for 10 years. How can you say I don't know what I'm doing? I know what to do. I've been doing this all my life. And things like that they say to themselves to disqualify themselves that they already know. So if it's not working, then there's another reason. And what is the reason? And guess what? It's never them. It's always something or someone else that they can blame. It's never them. And even if you put it to them, well, there are some people in the world that weren't born with a golden spoon in their mouth, weren't born totally rich. People that made it from the streets, homeless to the top. And then they come up with something like I said to you, they always got an answer. They're lucky. They've had a break. They didn't have enough competition. Maybe they had a good break. Maybe they had good help. Any old excuse where they can shift the blame, the responsibility to somebody else. So that's the problem. If they find out that they don't know, they look for it. But they just resign themselves to this idea. I do know. I already know. How can you say I don't know? So that's the second problem. The top thing that people suffer from is they think they know when they actually don't. And they're not willing to do what it takes to get out of where they are and get to where they may want to be. So just live a life, resign themselves to the idea, I tried, this isn't for me, I just can't be bothered. Well, look, listen, why is 95% of the world working for someone else? Why don't you work it out? 95% of the people in the world work for someone else. Why is that? And that's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So they asked them, do you all agree on that? And they said, yes, we do. So the first problem was mentors. Stop thinking about making money for you and start thinking about giving a life-changing opportunity to your customers who you can help to get the results that they dreamed they had. Number one. Number two, the people fail because they believe they know when they actually don't. Now here's number three. Number three rests with the audience again, the group that's the 95%. Even the ones who are in the 5%, they fight off the demons of 95% and they come out. They are not willing to stand up to the heat that they have to endure to be able to stand there and fight and learn and study and keep striving until they get out of their situation to the point of 7-figure income. Not many actually get there. Very, very few actually make it. And most of them, 95% of them, just give up on the way. They just give up. So even though they believe they don't know, even though they want to make an effort to help others to give them a life-changing opportunity, even though they're willing to learn all those tools applied, the heat of time, how long it takes to understand, bring in results, and keep going and not stopping, they give up on the way. They just retire in their head. I've had enough of this, and just settle for whatever they manage to achieve. They don't make excuses and blame anybody. They just sit there and say, I've done the best I can. Because they know others have done it. They know other people have achieved the results. So if there were 1 million people, for example, that were trying to get into the 5%, who believe that they should give value to people, who believe that they should go out and learn all they need to learn to be able to make a difference and go further in life, 95% of them will give up. Because it's not a 5-minute job. It takes a long time. These 10 mentors said, each one of us have taken 10, 15 years to learn and to get where we are. Not 5 months or 6 months or a year or 2 years. And the beginning is hard. Very hard. But then you should be passionate about your journey. And the ones who are not will get tired and they will give up. You should enjoy, not be frustrated. And the ones who give up are frustrated. Even though they may be trying to get value for somebody else, even though they believe that they don't know what they need to know, but deep down, they're doing it for them. They're not doing it for somebody else. If they were doing it for somebody else, it wouldn't be about them. Then they would succeed. Their passion would be to help others. But because they sold themselves to the idea, I have to get what I want, you're not going to get what you want. Only time you're going to get what you want is when you help get others what they want. So these are the 3 things they all agree that they give up. And very, very few get to the top. So out of, say, like I said, 1 million people that are really trying, 1 million people that are really, really trying, how many actually get through? 5%. And even then, that's being generous, because the real figures are 1%. And if you want to go to real extreme, is 0.1%. 1 in every 4,000 will get through. This is the ones that are really trying. Now you come up with your own list, but this has come from billionaires. They do not give up. These 0.1% successful ones, they don't give up. They embrace failure. They learn from their failure. They don't give up. And they put this failure down as an experience. It's something they know. You know, failure is great. Why is failure great? Because now you know something that doesn't work. That's another thing now you know that doesn't work, that you don't need to try again. And you can save others from it too. That's why failure is great. Success is great too, but it can only do one thing, and that is bring you results. But failure does 3 things. 1, it stops you doing from what you shouldn't be doing. 2, it helps you to save others from making the same mistake. 3, it will actually take you towards the point where you will find what works. You might have to try 100 things to find just one works, but the one that works be a diamond. So you've gone through 100 tests and trials to find what works, but you find one diamond. That one diamond is enough to make you a millionaire. One diamond. These people that are at the top, all 10 of them, they've only got a couple of diamonds, 1 or 2 diamonds. And they spent their entire lifetime finding. These are the 3 diamonds they gave. Help others. Start thinking about what you can do to help others. Go in there, work for free if you have to bring them results, life-changing results. They'll pay you. Oh yes, sir, they will pay you. Don't make it about you. Let them know this isn't about you. Tell them this is about them. But they must feel this, that their success for you is more than they want it. They must feel that their success is actually your success. They just happen to be the ones that you're using as a tool to succeed. And you can only succeed by helping them succeed. So these are the top 3 diamonds. Hope you've enjoyed them.